If you're over 60 and still relying on eggs to build muscle, this may be why your strength isn't improving. Most seniors are told the same thing over and over: eat more eggs, add more protein, drink protein shakes. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one explains. After 60, eggs alone are often not enough. Rebuild muscle. And in some cases, they slow progress. If your legs feel weaker, if getting out of a chair takes more effort, or if your muscles feel sore but never stronger. This is not just aging, it's a nutrition mismatch. As we get older, the body becomes less efficient at using protein. This means even good foods may not trigger muscle growth the way they used to. That's why so many seniors eat eggs daily and still lose strength year after year. But here's the good news. There's a cheap, everyday food, often costing less than eggs, that research shows can stimulate muscle repair more effectively after 60 when eaten correctly. It supports muscle fibers, reduces inflammation, and helps your body actually use the protein you eat. And no, it's not a supplement, it's not a powder, and it's probably already in your kitchen. In today's video, I'll show you what this food is, why it works better than eggs for older adults, and how to use it safely to support stronger legs and better mobility. Stay with me until the end, because the mistake most seniors make with this food cancels its benefits. And before we continue, comment below: how old are you, and what food do you rely on most for protein right now? If you care about staying strong, independent, and active after 60, subscribe now and turn on notifications. This channel is dedicated to real, science-backed senior health. No hype, no gimmicks. Let's begin. Now let's talk about one of the most underestimated muscle-building foods for older adults. Plain yogurt. Most people think yogurt is only good for digestion. But after age 60, plain yogurt plays a far more important role. It helps your muscles actually respond to protein again. Here's why that matters. Plain yogurt provides complete, high-quality protein in a form your aging body can absorb easily. 1 cup of milk, or about 170 grams of plain yogurt, delivers roughly 8 to 12 grams of protein, including leucine, the key amino acid that acts like a switch for muscle growth. Leucine tells your muscles, repair, rebuild, get stronger. The problem is, as we age, our muscles become less sensitive to leucine. That's why many seniors eat protein every day but still lose strength. The signal simply isn't strong enough. Research shows that older adults get the best muscle-building response when each main meal provides about 25 to 30 grams of protein with roughly 3 grams of leucine. Eggs alone often fall short. Beans alone often fall short. Even fish can fall short. But when you add plain yogurt, everything changes. For example, pairing yogurt with eggs, tuna, beans, or lentils helps you reach that critical muscle dose without protein powders, without supplements, and without high cost. Yogurt also has another major advantage: digestibility. Because it's fermented, its proteins are easier to break down and absorb, especially important for older adults with slower digestion. It also supplies calcium and potassium, which support muscle contraction, nerve signaling, balance, and stability. The key is choosing plain, unsweetened yogurt. Flavored varieties often contain added sugars that work against muscle and metabolic health. Used daily, plain yogurt doesn't replace other protein foods, it amplifies them. It turns ordinary meals into muscle-supporting meals. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked muscle-building foods for adults over 60, dried beans and lentils. Most people assume muscle growth requires expensive animal proteins or supplements, but science tells a different story. Beans and lentils are among the most affordable, nutrient-dense muscle-supporting foods available, and they work especially well for older adults. A single cooked half cup of beans or lentils provides 8 to 10 grams of protein, along with complex carbohydrates that fuel your muscles and help prevent fatigue. This matters because muscle strength isn't built on protein alone. Muscles also need energy to contract, recover, and grow, and the slow-digesting carbs in beans and lentils provide exactly that. But the real advantage goes deeper. Beans and lentils are rich in magnesium and potassium, two minerals that play a critical role in normal muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and recovery. Low levels of these minerals are commonly linked to muscle cramps, weakness, and poor endurance in older adults. By supplying them naturally, beans and lentils help muscles work more efficiently, not just harder. Nutrition research on sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, consistently shows that higher total daily protein intake helps preserve lean muscle and physical function in seniors. And importantly, this benefit applies whether the protein comes from animal or plant sources, as long as total intake is adequate and consistent. When beans and lentils are combined with light resistance exercise, even chair exercises or bodyweight movements, they support muscle maintenance and strength gains without stressing the body. They're also easy to prepare, gentle on digestion when cooked properly, and extremely cost-effective. For many seniors, this makes them a realistic, sustainable alternative to expensive powders and supplements. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked muscle-building foods for older adults: chickpeas, along with other inexpensive legumes. Chickpeas don't look impressive. They're simple, they're cheap, and because they're not flashy, many people underestimate them. But nutritionally, they offer something very important for aging muscles: steady protein, energy, and mineral support, all in one food. One cooked cup of chickpeas provides roughly 15 grams of protein, along with fiber, magnesium, and potassium. That combination matters. Protein supplies the building blocks for muscle repair, while magnesium and potassium support normal muscle contraction and nerve signaling, essential for strength, balance, and coordination in older adults. Another key benefit is energy support. Chickpeas contain complex carbohydrates that digest slowly, helping replenish muscle glycogen without sharp blood sugar spikes. This is especially helpful after light resistance exercise like sit-to-stands, walking, or light weights, the exact activities most seniors rely on to maintain mobility. Research on sarcopenia shows something very important. Muscle preservation depends on total daily protein, not just one perfect food. Diets that include protein from both animal and plant sources consistently perform better at slowing age-related muscle loss than diets that rely on one source alone. That's where chickpeas shine. They pair perfectly with eggs, yogurt, fish, or rice, helping you reach a meaningful protein intake across the day, affordably and without supplements. Chickpeas also support gut health through their fiber content, which indirectly improves protein absorption and nutrient use, a factor many people overlook as digestion slows with age. For seniors, chickpeas aren't about quick fixes. They're about reliability. Eaten regularly, they help stabilize energy, support muscle function, and make it easier to meet protein needs without stress or expense. As we reach the end of this video, I want you to remember one powerful truth. Building muscle after 60 is not about eating more. It's about eating smarter. You've seen today that strength doesn't come from trendy supplements or overpriced protein powders. It comes from simple, affordable foods that your body can actually absorb and use. Foods like beans, lentils, chickpeas, and plain yogurt. These foods work because they deliver what aging muscles truly need: steady protein, essential minerals like magnesium and potassium, and most importantly, the right signals to activate muscle repair. When combined with even light movement, such as chair stands, walking, or gentle resistance, these everyday foods help slow muscle loss and support real, functional strength. The kind of strength that lets you stand up easily, climb stairs confidently, and stay independent longer. You don't need perfection. You don't need complicated plans. You just need consistency. Start by adding one of these foods to your daily routine, then build from there. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Which food from today's list will you start eating more often? Share it in the comments. Your answer might help someone else watching. And if staying strong, mobile, and independent after 60 matters to you, subscribe to the channel. We share science-backed practical tips every week to help you age with confidence. Thank you for watching, and remember, your strength is not behind you. It's still being built.